Supergirl, issue 39. Jodie Hauser writing with Rachel Stott on the art. Unfortunately, there's only 3 issues left as of Solicit's News today.
It definitely feels like a middle chapter. It definitely...
Sure.
It seemed to lack some of the urgency I don't say urgency. Some of that pop that it had in the first 2 issues. It's still a very good issue. It just feels like a middling chapter.
I like the faceless like government, like military sort of like boardroom that are deciding, hey, there's something claiming to be Supergirl that's taken over Smallville. We have to decide what to do about it. Most of the issue, to be honest, is a really quick read because it was mostly a fight scene with, the last issue ended with Wonder Woman with the lasso around Supergirl, and Supergirl kind of went blonde again. She seems like she's kind of becoming her, but she breaks out of the lasso and becomes, what we've had.
And she still has that, no, I'm a hero, I'm trying to help everybody, and she goes, there's a barn on fire, and Supergirl leaves the fight with Wonder Woman to go rescue the people in the barn. Yeah, but she also, there's the caveat, she's like, well, if you just take the dark metal and take the infection, it'll save all of you. Yeah. And you're like, oh, she really is twisted. Like, I like that little story point.
I'm sure I said this before, but last time, I think the faces of Start's art isn't necessarily always to my liking, but I think the action layouts and the way the action flows through the pages is phenomenal. Like, this was such an easy read because it just everything flowed during the fighting, and most of it is fighting and her like flying around and diving into things and saving people in the barn and all that. Like, all of that flowed so goddamn well. I'm game for Rachel Stott art now at this point. But honestly, my only critique, other than maybe sometimes the faces not being my kind of style, is that there's a one point where she holds up like the beam at the top of the barn so it won't collapse, and I thought that her head was actually in between the break and the beam because of the way it was drawn, because she's underneath it holding it up, but the sort of the camera, if you will, is like above it, so it looked like she had her head in between the 2 beams, and it looked really funny to me. It's a minor complaint, but it was just at first glance, that's what it looked like to me. But this robot shows up that's got kryptonite, and it presumably sent by the military to fight her. And what's weird is that the kryptonite has a bit of an adverse effect, and the cliffhanger at the end of the issue is that we get a more super Batman Who Laughs version where spikes come out of her costume. The hair like covers her face almost like the Ring, or
full. She was like half black metal at that point. Yeah, she's full black metal at the end of this. The spikes have gotten longer.
Yeah, the cape's got a pointy sort of collar on it now, and she's got the big teeth, the grinning Batman Who Laughs teeth.
And so my take was this: is that because the Batman Who Laughs batarang, or the dark metal batarang, was meant for Superman, she was being able to fight it, but when she got hit with the kryptonite, it weakened her enough that now we're getting the full, dark multiverse infection of Supergirl. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good read. But what I mean by it feels like a middle chapter is a lot of action, and I don't want to say not much substance because there's stuff there. Like, I liked when the kid looks up at her, like, no, she's insane. Like, yeah, she helped us, but what does this mean? Like, she saved us, but at what cost?
Yeah, I will say I'm glad that at least the last couple issues are going to be Supergirl without this infection, just so that she has like a proper ending under Hauser. But no, I mean, this issue flowed really well. It was fun. Wonder Woman tried to talk her out of it. All that stuff really worked. It's a blast. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm gonna give it 7.5.
So I'll give it an 8. I'll give it the Philly. I think it flowed so well for me that I'm happy to give it. So.